hiring process for your job, would you like to share some tips regarding the interviews and
Initially, to start with my internship interview at Goldman Sachs, it was like not like for the hiring process of at Goldman Sachs. It started with aptitude rounds. After I connected with my seniors, some like the senior who actually got into Goldman Sachs. I connected with
Like
her.
I
She was very
connected with
nice.
you.
Yeah, exactly. She connected with me, like I connected with her, sorry, and she told me not to do this, not to do that, all the tips and tricks that everybody gives. She also gave me. I cleared that round. With the second round, it was coding round. Coding round was one day before Diwali. I remember that. So coding round was like medium level questions were only there. Something like I faced some problems regarding the compiler, so I couldn't actually. I mean, I couldn't solve both of the questions because of the compiler problem. But a week later, I actually got like I mean interview opportunity. So I thought ki maybe this was because I mean my solution was not wrong. The problem was with the
Okay.
compiler. So I
Okay,
thought
yeah.
maybe they checked the code and everything.
Hmm.
So with the interview, my first round, like there were going to be 3 rounds of interview on the same day. All of them were going to be eliminatory, obviously. So my first round started at 9 in the morning, and the interview went pretty good, pretty good. Like the interview asked some lead code medium level questions, and we were discussing. And that's like the best thing I'll say in interview is basically to keep it a discussion. Never make it a one way process that the interviewer is asking questions from you and you are just answering. Don't make that. Make it a discussion. That's what I did. I started with the discussion and we were discussing. It was so good. By the end of my first round, I went for the second round of interview. Second round of interview also went pretty well. She asked me questions not only with the DSC level, but also some questions from OPS and object oriented programming questions, some Java related questions and everything. Later on in my third round, my questions were basically DSA, but they focused a little less on DSA and more on my resume basically for my projects. Coming on to the projects, the interviewer was actually not very satisfied with the my project idea, like the use case of my project. So he started saying some things like maybe the project is too early for you and everything. And that was the moment I realized I'm not getting in. By the end of the interview, I was like, I am not gonna get in. I know that the next day, but it was like a dream for me. I wanted to so desperately, I wanted to get into Goldman Sachs. I was just like, I just want this. I don't want to get into Microsoft, no Google. I just want to get into Goldman Sachs. The next day, I came from my elite class, 7:30, and I was sleeping. When I woke up, in my dream, I actually saw that I got an internship from Goldman Sachs. I've received that acceptance letter and everything. It was
Oh,
such
wow.
a like I was so I could actually manifest it, and in fact
Yeah,
now
I
I
think
think
you
that maybe I
manifested it.
actually manifested.
Yeah, you did. Unknowingly you did.
Yeah, I was sleeping and I felt that I have received that mail saying congratulations, Aditi, and everything. I woke up and I didn't
Wow.
receive we were 8 people who actually gave interview. One got an acceptance, six got rejection, and I didn't receive anything. And all I could think was maybe I did got a mail, but it might would have been deleted because I was in my sleep, no? And 1 hour later, when I did everything, I searched my bin, I did everything. And 1 hour later, I had to accept that fact. I cried my heart out that I didn't receive, I didn't got into Goldman Sachs. I was like shattered.
Oh.
But on Friday it happened. On Wednesday, I received a call from the HR department. saying that Aditi, we want to have another round of interview, which will be a cultural interview. It will be DSA and cultural interview. I was like, okay. And they said that tomorrow the interview will happen. I was told one day before, like around 2:30, I received the call. The next day I had my interview with him, and he was so good. It was the best interview of my life.
Oh
It
wow.
was a discussion, and I still say that it was the best interview of my life. I replied questions. It was such a discussion, and it was like sometimes you talk to people and you are like, oh my God, the discussion is so good.
Hmm.
You are like giving your best. He is talking to you, and by the end of the interview, he was like, Aditi, the interview was only for like, the interview was only for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and it's already 45 minutes. But I want to stay. I want to talk to you a little more. I want to know about you. And that was the moment I thought, "Okay, yeah, I made it
Yeah, you're
in.
getting, yeah, you.
Yeah,
Like,
and because at that time before the interview, I was like, I didn't clear the
Hmm.
interview up until now. Why the hell will they keep me? I'm like like lowest priority candidate maybe, and I was just thinking everything, every shitty things that I can say, I can
mm,
think. And 2 hours later, after the interview, I was in my class. I was giving, giving like I was in the middle of the lecture when I received a mail. I was so happy, but I was happy and I couldn't express my happiness. I was just like I was sitting
Hmm.
there, and one of my best friend was sitting next to me, and I showed, okay, see, I just showed the mail. At first, I saw the mail, and it was silence. I couldn't see anything. I couldn't hear anything.
Hmm.
I just sat there, and after 5 minutes, when my best friend said, "Ki, what happened?" I showed the mail, and they were also very happy. That's how I got into Goldman Sachs, and later on I got to know basically they took they took 4 rounds of interview, maybe because of the department or something else.
Hmm.
okay.
And yeah,
Wow,
and
what
that
a
was
story.
how.
What a
Yeah,
story.
it's like I don't know how did it happen, and I just don't know. I was so happy. I was like, maybe I have manifested this. Maybe it's a dream. Maybe I'm still in dream. And what's happening? How
Yeah.
did everything change? And that's why I'm saying to you guys also that sometimes things might not happen according to you,
Hmm.
according to your plan. But maybe somewhere it might happen someday. You just have to work hard. Someday, sometime, maybe you will get over there. Well, coming back to Jaspe. So
Yeah.
how I got into Jaspe. Uh, like Jaspe came into our college for on-campus and off-campus hiring. In
Okay.
on-campus, I was not here in the college because I was on my internship. With off-campus, when I returned from my internship, there was an opportunity on Unstop. That's where I applied to Jaspe. The first round was, I remember it was aptitude. It was aptitude and like normal MCQ questions. Clearing that round, we moved to DSA round. Now, DSA round, there's actually one question that they always ask, which is tree of space. It's a very like always
Hmm.
asking mandatory question of Jaspe. That was a question, and another question was DSA. No, no, just a minute. Before this, there was also a round. There was also a science round. Science basically they ask question regarding physics, maths, chemistry, physics, maths. Sorry, the questions were
Oh,
for physics, maths, and computer science also.
oh.
Yeah, this was like aptitude round two, MCQ round two basically, which was
Hmm.
physics, maths, and computer science questions. Later on, it was DSA questions, DSA tree of space with a DSA question, lead code, medium, hard, hard basically. Solving those, like clearing the round. Basically, I thought what happened then there was a profile verification, and after that profile verification you are not anymore connected with Justpay through Unstop. You are directly in contact with Justpay. That's what basically
Okay.
means. So it was done, and it was about a month or two when I didn't receive any call from Justpay. I was like, what happened? Why have they ghosted me? Oh, what wrong did I do? I went through profile verification. And because some people were already talking on Telegram groups that I got a call from Jasper and everything, I didn't got. Later on, I received one day I received a call from Jasper mentioning that we would like to take your interview, and that was like 1 week later. We will take your interview, but it will be like the first round will be on Wednesday. I got to know on Friday, that we'll be taking your interview first round on Wednesday, then on Friday, if you clear the Wednesday round. So Wednesday round was DSA round. DSA round will be on Wednesday. Then on Friday there will be a full day hackathon round. So that yeah. Then on my first, but it got rescheduled multiple times. It was like, okay, now next time on Friday it will happen. It happened on a Friday. I remember Friday or a Thursday. I don't actually remember the date. Then DSA round was good. It happened and I cleared it. Moving towards like then on like 1 day before, I received a call for a full day hackathon. Full day hackathon is basically in which you have to reply to questions regarding that tree of space.
Okay.
So in DSA round also, yeah, in DSA rounds also, like my first round of interview, they ask question regarding race condition and everything. And I mean, you are expected to know the answers to all these questions. Then second round, it was full day hackathon. You start with at around 11 in the morning, and the interview goes till 8 like in the evening. And in the interview, you will be like connected on a Slack app. Slack app is basically their team app in which you will be connected with multiple, like it will be a group in which multiple people will be there. You will be, I mean, and you'll also be given a group, I mean, Google Meet link, and you have to join the meeting whenever the interviewer wants to. So you have to sit there. He'll be asking questions. Maybe he'll be like, okay, just write the code for this. Maybe write a code for multi-threading. Basically, it's like a tree of space, but you have to introduce that. I mean, multi-threading concept into it. How will you like clear all these multi? What happens if multi-threading condition occurs and everything? And you will be expected to. So he'll be like, he'll ask you a question, you have to reply to everything. You will be sitting in a group chat, like you will be writing codes and everything. If he wants, he has some job, or I mean better job to do, he'll go. And then you will be like, the meeting, I mean the Google Meet will end, but you are still connected on the Slack chat, and you will be sending your complete code on Slack. That's
Oh,
how it goes. Yeah. So every question, I mean, questions will be regarding multi-threading. There will be regarding tree of space. You have to explain your line by line code. Everything you have to explain it to them. Then
okay.
the interview ended around 6 in the evening when the interviewer stopped replying to me. And I was like, has he also ghosted me? But at 8, I left the chat and I said, I mean, it was about, I mean, I wrote a mail to the HR and everything. And later on, around 8:15, I received the text from the interviewer saying that, I mean, your solution looks good. All the best for the next round. I mean, the feedback will be given to the HR. So I was like, okay. Some days later, I got a call. I mean, some days later, I got a call for the third round of interview, which was everything. It will start with DSA, then operating system, computer networks, OOPS, any other subject that I'm missing? System design, keyboard design, puzzles. Yeah, everything is on. So everything basically they'll ask you any question they can ask you. So
How long did
and
it go?
for
This
3 hours or 3.5 hours it went. It was a complete discussion. बहुत देर तक चला. So in the interviewer he started with DSA question, first question, second question. I solved them. Moving toward, he started with the question as in, what's the memory storage of your laptop that you are using right now? This was the first question that he gave to me. I replied and everything. What's then he started with what's clock speed? I mean, why is it 2.4 gigahertz? It's written. What does this actually means? What is 2.4 gigahertz? Then there were questions like, how will you explain it to in layman terms how fast a computer is as compared to humans? How will you explain this? So these were the level of questions that he asked. Moving towards, he started with operating system, as in we work. If suppose I'm in my laptop right now, I have opened Spotify. Now I've like minimized Spotify screen. Now I have opened Word. What's actually happening inside the computer? Tell me everything.
Hmm.
So that's how it goes. So that's how it went. Then later on, this discussion went till 6 in the evening. The interview started from 3:30, 6 up until 6. This was the discussion going on. Then later on, we moved to he started asking questions regarding puzzles. There were puzzles about how like coin denominations and everything. Multiple questions and multiple puzzles, in fact. Then later on, he started with system design questions. What's a
Hmm.
DNS? What's the domain name server and everything? These were the questions, and then he made like he actually I mean, told to this. I was told to design a system. Snapchat, maybe he can ask me. He can ask WhatsApp how design WhatsApp. You have to give like the HLD, LLD, and everything. That's how it ended. I was like, maybe I'll get in, maybe I'll not. So that's how it went. This interview was for 3.5 hours. It went. Then the next day, I was out with my friends. On Thursday, I had this interview. On Friday evening, I was out with my friends when I received a call saying, "Ki, Aditi, like congratulations, this round has been cleared. Now you'll be moving to the last round of interview." And then I
Hmm.
was like, "Oh my God, there's still another round. There's still a round left. Oh my God." And the round will be on Monday. I was like, okay. She said that maybe you can work on the topics that you might felt that in this round you have lagged. I was like, okay, maybe I should study more operating system and everything.
Mhm.
On Monday, I had my interview, so I was very nervous. I was like, oh my God, what if I don't get in? What if I don't get in? I have come so far,
Hmm.
and this is the only best opportunity I have right now.
Hmm.
Yeah. So after this, I mean, when I joined the interviewer asked me that how are you feeling, Aditi, and everything. So I mentioned that I'm happy that I'm giving an interview. I'm happy about this opportunity, but I'm still nervous. What if I don't get in? Then he told me, Aditi, don't worry. The worst thing that can happen right now is you being shifted to a different team. Yes. So I mean that was the moment when I actually felt that soothingness, that calmness that I've got into it. Yeah, I got in. But still it was like maybe what if he's just being nice or something.
Yeah, you never
So
know.
the interview, yeah, you never know what happens next. So I was like, okay. Then he asked me questions regarding, he said that Aditi, I'm being very vague about it. I'll just ask you 5 questions to know your personality and whether you will be a good fit for Just Be Culture. That's all. He asked me some questions like, Aditi, I mean, we are, as a company, we are made of basically aimers. We dream. We are dreamers. Explain me what's your dream? So I told him that I want to I want to take my mother to every single place that's possible on earth. I want to, and I replied with multiple answers. He asked me questions like, "What's the reason you? What's your hobby?" I said like reading, traveling. He said, which is the like recent book that you have read, which is the one book that you'll suggest to us?" And that these were the questions. By the end of by the end of the interview, he said, "Okay, Aditi, so I guess you will be a good fit for Jasper. Last question: when can you join?" And that was like, okay, so maybe by the end of the month. He said, "No, no, how can you join by the end of the month? I want you here by the next week, by next Monday." I was like, wait, next Monday, how can that be possible? Here I am planning about Indonesia, and you are saying that you are saying that you have to be here by the like next week. How is that even possible? So he said, okay, the HR will contact you regarding everything. I got a call from the HR later that evening, and things went pretty smooth. So this was like my journey up until now.
Great, great. Such a great, wonderful journey. So, moving towards the end of
Mm-hmm.
discussion, like the last question we have is that any tips that you want to share with us when you look back at your journey, the mistakes that you made, something that you want us or people who are planning to take up engineering, you don't want them to repeat what you did or something that they can improve as in what you did.
Okay. So giving tips, I'll say, like looking back to my journey, all I'll say is have fun, as much fun as you can. Enjoy. Don't be an overthinker like me. This is like I'm telling you guys, don't be an overthinker. Do like live your life to the fullest, study. But yes, you should study. I mean, you need to have good grades to get into good companies. That's like I mean, that's a truth. That's the truth. But enjoy also, live, and don't lag behind asking questions. Ask your questions. That's like, in fact, the professors also want people who wants student to ask questions from them. That's what like they are also like, oh my God, I'm so great. I'm such a great teacher in computer networks. But people are not asking questions. You should
Because
ask. That's like
they are
they will
intimidated,
also,
probably.
huh? They'll also be like, maybe, and so, okay, so they'll also be like, no, okay, I'm happy that somebody is asking me questions, and they'll be very happy to clear those doubts. They'll be like,
Yeah,
okay, somebody's actually studying right now. So
yeah,
study,
actually.
but only in college, matlab, in those closed classrooms. I had fun in closed classrooms also. I was like, you will ask any teacher, they'll be like, she is the most notorious student I've ever seen.
Oh,
I talk a lot. मैं बहुत बात की हूँ.
oh.
बस क्लास से बाहर नहीं गई हूँ. जाते जाते बची थी. But still, what to do? I enjoyed my life, and I'll suggest you guys also कि 4 साल है. Enjoy it. Yeah, you will find some pretty amazing friends. Enjoy your life with them. मैं हर इंसान को वही बोलती हूँ, enjoy your life with those friends. Maybe you will find those friends after college, or maybe you will be in connection with those friends after college, but nobody has seen what happens next.
Yeah,
जब तक उस कॉलेज में
actually.
हो, जब तक उस हॉस्टल की बिल्डिंग में हो, enjoy. What we did, that's what I'm suggesting other also. Sometimes we are like कि जॉब नहीं मिली, नंबर नहीं आया, मार्क्स नहीं आए, and I was also thinking कि भाई मेरे मार्क्स नहीं आ रहे हैं, what I'm studying so hard but I'm not getting marks and everything. Oh, no problem. You just have to be above average. Above average in the sense maybe 8K above CPA, 8.5K above CPA. बस उतना ही तुम्हें रखना है. You don't need more than that. You don't have to be a 9.6 achiever. No. You just have to be an 8.5 or 8.8 above student who has good life experience. That's what corporate is in fact built on. Right now, what I'm seeing कि industries maybe like when I'm talking to my colleagues, they are also like कि, how was your hostel like? What fun have you done there? They'll not ask whether you know SQL, whether you know Java and everything. They expect you to know that,
No, no,
but
yeah,
that's not. Yeah, but that's not the center of conversation right now. They are like, what
yeah.
have you done in college? Did you do this? Did you do that? Okay, so that might be fun. They're also like
Hmm.
this. They are also human being only. They also want those gossips and everything. So just enjoy your life. That's what I'll
Yeah.
say.
Yeah. And one thing that you said about like asking doubts, I remember I don't ask a lot of questions in class because I feel that okay, I'll search it on my own, I'll study this from somewhere on my own. So, but
Okay.
sometimes when I do ask, doubts, I get really nice solution, and that thing stays with me for a longer period of time as compared to the things
Exactly.
that I search on my own. So yeah, this is something that I've also figured that asking doubts is really important.
Exactly. Everybody like the person who is there to solve your doubts, they are also very happy because they are like somebody's actually studying right now. So they'll
Yeah,
start teaching you, they'll start clearing your doubts, they'll try to be more in contact with you, and that's
yeah,
fun. I
yeah.
like
And
my
I
professors,
and I
some
still
some of them.
and I still believe that experience is way above AI. I feel that because
Exactly.
yeah. So
Yeah, I mean, I like some of my professors. They are very nice. I have asked so many questions. इतना मैंने questions पूछे हैं now. You can ask my classmates also. They are also like, इतना question आ कहाँ से रहा है? It was my whole group. साथ में questions पूछते थे हम लोग. After
oh
some time they were like, मजे तो नहीं चल रहे, but no, they were actually doubts and
yeah,
actual doubts. So लोगों के questions solve हो रहे थे. That's what matters.
yeah. Great. It was such a great discussion talking to you, Aditi. Divya. I mean, we enjoyed this a lot, and
Thank
इतनी
you.
सारी insights मिल गई हम लोगों को, इतना सब कुछ सीख लिया हम लोगों ने. And I think that it is time कि हम लोग बहुत ज्यादा पढ़ाई करना start कर दें.
Yeah.
That's all
Our
I want to
placements
say.
are so near
After
to end,
listening to you,
Bharti.
yeah,
We were listening
but
and
it
thinking,
was,
oh, we have a lot to do, and
yeah,
there's so much left
actually,
to do, and we can do much more than we are actually doing it. It was so motivating. Thank
yeah.
you for
Thank
very
you for
much.
sparing
Thank
your
you.
time. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. No worries.